everybody world over, wherever you are. We extend you a very hearty welcome to yet another very powerful evening. And ladies and gentlemen, from today, we have changed the timings for our this particular program because keeping the entire perspective of IPL matches in perspective and the request from all the youth, all the teachers, all the educators from the world over, we have changed the series now from 7 p.m. to 5 p.m. So today on 24th of September, today onward, when we hold our webinars, you can take it that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all the programs, extra program I'll share with you later. But our regular series, what we have got in the evening, which till yesterday was 7 p.m. From today onward, it will be at 5 p.m. This evening, we have got a very distinguished guest. We have got Mr. Sourabh Kaushal. He's the founder and director, and that is Smart Circuit Innovations. And this is something very innovative, and I have gone through his CV. And when he was introduced to our chamber, we found he has got a lot of innovation, a lot of ideas, and he is very creative and scientific approach what he is bringing in the education. And some statements, when I read his CV, you will come to know they are really very convincing and very motivating for every youth. So extending you all a very hearty welcome to Making Education Relevant, the global series. Ladies and gentlemen, today is a very important day because today is the first anniversary when we talk about Fit India Dialogue. That is Fit India movement, which started 1 year back by the Honorable Prime Minister of India. Today is the first anniversary of Fit India Dialogue. So Ministry of Youth Affairs and the Sports, we extend a very heartiest congratulations and welcome to every youth. Remain fit, always think positive, talk positive, behave positive, walk positive, dream positive, sleep positive, eat positive, always, and take care of your health. Because if you're physically fit, if you're fine, then the whole world is fine. Now, ladies and gentlemen, our chamber, International Chamber for Service Industry, when we talk about, since 1994, we have been getting the confluence in phases of all the non-resident Indians from world over. Those have gone to different countries, different continents for different purposes. Somebody is working for someone or somebody has created a work for someone. So that is the way there is a total confluence, and this is the padlock where we try and get their expertise, their cerebrums, and whatever they have got the best for the humanity, we try and bring. During this coronavirus, we are focusing on education, like doctors, nurses, paramedical people. They are the great people, they are warriors. So our teachers, our educators, our technocrats, and all counselors, psychiatrists, people those are directly, indirectly associated with education, they are also warriors in their own way. So we salute them. We extend them a very hearty welcome to be part of this program. We all understand that during this lockdown, the thought processes are affected, business is deeply affected, physical and mental health is affected, and the main part of the universe is your education is also deeply affected. 1.86 billion children at present, they are away from their schools, colleges, and institutions. But India's philosophy, right when you talk about India's heritage, India as a civilization, India is the oldest civilization when you talk about. So there's a concept we talk about, Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam. That means the whole world is one family. So all of us, let's come together. Let there be a global education collaboration where all of us, we are together in this journey. Ladies and gentlemen, heartiest congratulations to the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Education Minister of India, and all the stakeholders, those are associated in education. We congratulate them because it's a very important moment, because the entire education policy, which is now going to see the daylight, education policy has got the clearance on 29th of July from the Honorable Prime Minister and the Cabinet, and now it gets to the Parliament, and thereafter it becomes the constitutional approval, and then it gets implemented. But the process of implementation has already started. Various stakeholders, including NCERT, NIPA, UGC, AICT, National Council for Teacher Education, AIU, all the stakeholders and all the people in the vertical, horizontal, wherever they all are working in the direction. The implementation part of the new education policy in India, which is going to be a game changer. And the other day, Asha Bhosle ji, the legend of Indian music industry, and when we talk about, she congratulated the Honorable Prime Minister saying that now the science students can also take music. Commerce student, they can take fashion designing, and imagine how many new vocational skills, competencies. And from the 6th class onward, you're going to have a coding also coming in schools for children. That's a great step, and it's a historic moment, and it's a wonderful journey which is going to be now as far as Indian education is concerned. Our chamber from world over, when we have got lots of inputs from the various countries, the next problem world over is going to be on the crisis of the water. So water conservation is very important, ladies and gentlemen, for all of us. We got to conserve the water. We got to preserve the water. We got to save every drop of water, because although it appears to you all around water, 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 but consumable water for your life, what kind of a water, all that is very important thereby. Women empowerment is also very important, because when you educate a male member, you educate individual. But when you educate a girl child, you educate subsequent generations. Women empowerment is very important. We all have to take care of that, ladies and gentlemen. It's very important. Now, our chamber from morning 9 o'clock till evening 9 o'clock, 12 hours, we are in your service. Wherever you are, whatever country you are in, whatever time zone you are in, and now the timings have got changed, and people now from Australia, New Zealand, and Fiji, they are also joining this program from today. And then, of course, it's quite early morning when I talk about Canada, when I talk about Latin America, United States. People have done with their lunch, they have enjoyed in the entire Europe. They finished with their evening tea in the Central Asia. They had their tea in South Asia, right, starting from Afghanistan, Nepal, Bhutan, Sri Lanka, Maldives, and then going for the early evening tea and coffee to Middle East. And then, of course, people preparing in a little while now for their dinner. As far as ASEAN is concerned, Myanmar, Cambodia, Laos, Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, Philippines, Brunei, Vietnam, whatever we can think of, all the 10 countries, 650 million population, and what a region. So from today, I wish to remind all of you once again that every day log on at 5 p.m. You can also watch this program live on the YouTube. If you come to ICSI, when you come on Dr. Gulshan Sharma ICSI, then you can immediately see this program is available live as well. My little girls, those who have joined this evening over here in this program, I would request all of you, you have got some time to get your turn after our main speaker speaks. So kindly open your YouTube, send across the contact to your friends also, send to everybody whomsoever you know. More and more people we want to come in the fold, so that the family of ICSI increases, basically for empowering education. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 4 days, it's youth empowerment strategies. And tomorrow would be Friday. So we will be talking about 500 million plus people world over, when under the dynamic leadership of Venerable Dr. Dhammapiya, International Buddhist Confederation, and Dr. Christy Chung from Taiwan. All of them, they will come together, and we will talk about what is Lord Buddha's teachings relevance in today's education system. And then comes Saturday. Saturday evening, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take you to Chicago. Swamiji, those are available at present in Chicago. He'll be talking live to us, and what is the relevance of Swami Vivekanand ji's all the quotes and whatever he said on empowering education system, and basically facilitating and enriching and empowering every youth world over. So ladies and gentlemen, then comes Saturday evening after Vivekanand's talk. We will be going to your health and wellness. We talk about yoga. meditation, naturopathy, nutrition, organic, whatever you can think on this planet. We will talk about your wellness. That's on Saturday evening. That is at 6:15. Now, every Sunday morning, special program for you, 9:30 to 11, where we talk about Srimad Bhagavad Gita and 10 principal Upanishad. And that comes live from the Woodbury University, Burbank, California. Professor Satyendra Dhiman from United States every Sunday morning. Sunday evening at 3 p.m., ladies and gentlemen, you will have India ASEAN joint collaboration with focus on northeast part of India. And then comes the last program of Sunday, and that is going to be, ladies and gentlemen, micro, small, and medium enterprise. When I talk about that is on Sunday evening at 5 p.m. Like today, you have got this program. So Sunday evening, you will have your startup, stand up, and you have got everything related to whatsoever is there in micro, small, and medium enterprise. So this is the complete canvas where you can see the entire week is filled, and we have got all these programs for all age groups in different continents, in different countries, in different time zones, giving them the complete package. This is the research which comes from our chamber from 25th of March to 20th of September. This is the new golden triangle. The golden triangle is no more Delhi, Agra, Jaipur. The golden triangle is going to be, first is your basic food, you must cater to. Second is take care of your health. And the third is the education is going to be now earn and learn. That's the way the digital part when we talk about. So you have to get to the basics of your life. B2B will not be business to business. It will be termed now as back to basics of life. And that is going to be the future, at least for next 2 years. Sustainable development, that is the only way of surviving. Our chamber deeply feels whatever human mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve, ladies and gentlemen. So let's come together. Let's make education relevant. Let's make education meaningful. Let's make education which has got relevance to my day-to-day living and day-to-day life. There is no theoretical knowledge and too much of dumping of subjects and all. That is not needed. Rather, what we need is creativity, collaborative, and we want critical thinking, analytical thinking, logical thinking, and all that what can come to. Every evening we get 5 celebrities. This evening you will have 5 celebrities. After our main speaker, Sourabh Kaushal-ji, would have done away with his main part of the deliberations today. Thereafter, we will get these 5 children. My humble request to all 5 of them, the basic aim and objective of this exercise and getting these 5 stars. You are the celebrity today. The whole world sees you. The whole world gets empowered. You do not know how many people in how many countries and how many girls under women empowerment, they are watching you. And whatever you say, it has got an impact. It has got an imprint. So our efforts from our chamber is to empower every girl. Our efforts are to encourage you. Our efforts are to do the hand-holding for you. Our efforts are just to give you the best of opportunity, whatever we can give from this platform. So thereby, Madhura, she is going to talk to us this evening. What is the purpose of education? Then Pallavi, she is going to talk on what is the role of technology in today's education. Vani, she is going to talk on how to create your dream career in your life. And of course, we have got Tanvi. She is going to talk about what does today's youth want? What are they looking forward to? And of course, we will have Kritika, who will talk on how to make education relevant to our day-to-day life. So ladies and gentlemen, these 5 children of mine and grandchildren of mine, they all will share their views and they will share whatever they feel from their soul, from their heart, from their cerebrum, from their vision. And every day, our efforts are not to test your knowledge, rather to encourage you, to empower you. So everything to be taken in a positive way, because as a father, as a grandfather, I want that all of you should be encouraged And you should encourage other children as well. That is something very important. So all principals, directors, vice principals, headmasters, and all the students, counselors, those are interested to participate, to come in this program and to become the star of the evening, kindly send your details to Colonel Casey Manon. He is the person in charge who has to look after this particular area and this particular segment. Our efforts are once again to encourage you, to empower you. Okay, so that is the way we want to go. His mobile number is also there, and his email ID is also here. You can get across and you can see. So ladies and gentlemen, here is the celebrity of the evening, and I was so happy when I learned about him from Dubai, from one of my speakers, and he told, sir, we must get Sourabh Kaushal, the founder and the director of Smart Circuit Innovations. He has got a lot to share with the younger generation. Mr. Sourabh Kaushal, he's an engineer and entrepreneur, and he's passionate about space science and technology. And he's involved in the project related to space technology and education. He's a recipient of Jerome Pearson Award 2012 from ISEC USA, Young Innovator Award, SAM Global Awards, Karmaveer Chakra Instituted with United Nations. He had been appreciated and recognized by late Dr. Abdul Kalam ji and Sir Ratan Tata ji, former Vice President of India, Honorable M.H. Ansari ji, Padmashree Dr. V. Adhimurthy from ISRO, and many scientists from NASA, ESA, and ISRO. He is the recipient of the Limca Book of Records for his research work in the field of space debris mitigation. He is the TEDx Speaker, Inc. Fellow, Associate Fellow, Royal Commonwealth Society, London. He and his team also designed, developed, and launched high altitude balloon satellite up to an altitude of 50 kilometers in the Stratosphere in March 2019. Currently, he is working on experiential learning. Now, this particular sentence and this particular para is very important, ladies and gentlemen. World over, those have joined over here in this program, I wish to share with all of you. Currently, he is working on experiential learning and providing 21st century learning tools to students. And what is his mission? That is the most important crux of the entire thing. He wants one student, one innovation. Imagine how many students are there world over. What the world would be if each one of us share at least one innovation. Let's see our innovation during this pandemic, during this coronavirus, when we are talking about this particular program. This evening, ladies and gentlemen, from our chamber, in a humble way, we are dedicating to the whole world. Punaha Bharat ko Vishwaguru banna hai, and this is the creation from our chamber. So I wish to share with all of you, and it is moving to the whole globe so fast.
विश्व गुरु बनना है भारत, भारत का सम्मान करो। विश्व गुरु बनना है भारत, भारत का सम्मान करो। शिक्षा के पथ पे आगे बढ़कर, शिक्षा के पथ पे आगे बढ़कर सबका ही कल्याण करो। भारत का शिक्षक पूर्ण जगत में छा जाओ, श्रेष्ठ वर्ग के तारे बनकर अपना नाम भी चमकाओ। विश्व गुरु बनना है भारत, भारत का सम्मान करो। विश्व गुरु बनना है भारत, भारत का सम्मान करो। शिक्षा के पथ पे आगे बढ़कर, शिक्षा के पथ पे आगे बढ़कर सबका ही कल्याण करो। शंखनाद से सकल जगत में गौरवमय गुणगान करो। गगन कल्पना ए.पी.जे. कलाम और भगत सिंह बन जाओ, साहस भर के झांसी जैसा जीवन का बलिदान करो। गगन कल्पना ए.पी.जे. कलाम और भगत सिंह बन जाओ, साहस भर के झांसी जैसा जीवन का बलिदान करो। विश्व गुरु बनना है भारत, भारत का सम्मान करो। विश्व गुरु बनना है भारत, भारत का सम्मान करो। भारत का सम्मान करो, भारत का सम्मान करो, भारत का सम्मान करो, भारत का सम्मान करो।
So, ladies and gentlemen, during the COVID-19 pandemic, this is the creation from our chamber, which we have launched globally because Honorable Prime Minister of India launched the new education policy 2020, and we thought, let's put little gesture from our side, and we have come out with this particular song. So here comes the center of attraction this evening. We have got Mr. Sourabh Kaushal, who is going to share his vision. Hearty welcome to you, Mr. Sourabh. It's such a pleasure to have you with us, because the more I read about you, the more I have known about you. So let's take the journey from here. Initially, share for about 5-6 minutes, give a little profile, how you got to into this particular idea, how did you launch your own satellite for education purposes, and what is the mission ahead, and thereafter then we will share rest of the ideas with the global fraternity.
All right, sir. So, namaste to everyone. This is Saurabh Kaushal, and first of all, I would like to thank to Dr. Gulshan Sharma Sarji for inviting me in this particular webinar. And I must say, I mean, you are doing a really great job, especially ICSI, by organizing such a webinars with such a wonderful person. So, congratulations to all the team member of ICSI. So, regarding my journey, as you mentioned, a lot of things related to Dr. Kalam ji in your video also. So I remember in 2014-15, I met with Dr. A.P.J. Abdul Kalam ji in Delhi. So he mentioned one line: "The knowledge makes you great," right? That is, your knowledge, your creativity, or your innovation is the things that make you great. Is I mean, your innovation is like your identity, right? So that's why we have to do some innovative work in our life. As we are living in the 21st century, the century of technology, we have a lot of technologies right now. So in this competitive era, your creativity or your knowledge or your innovation is like your identity. And regarding my journey, so I remember when I was in 12th class. So at that time, I really want to become the aerospace or a space engineer. And I have given the IIT or AI EEE. At that time there was a AI EEE also. So I have given the IIT examination and AIEEE, but unfortunately I was unable to crack the IIT examination at that time and secured, very less marks in that. And even in 12th class, I have secured around 65% marks only in 12th class. So at that time, my dream of becoming an aerospace or space engineer was just lost, right? And after that, I got an opportunity for admission in one of the private university in Delhi. But the fee structure was something around 40 to 45 lakh rupees. So I dropped that option, and I got an admission in electronics and communication in Kurukshetra University. But uh, I was again passionate about space technology. Yes, कि कुछ करना है इस field के अंदर, right? Because एक जो जुनून होता है कि I have to do something. Because I was really passionate. I was really inspired from Dr. A.P.J. Abdul Kalam as well as Kalpana Chawla, who was from Karnal, जो neighborhood city से है मेरे.
And
So in
imagine we mentioned both in song. It's a coincidence.
yeah. So even I met with Dr. Kalpana Chawla's father also in Karnal and shared a lot of things about her and learned a lot of things from Kalpana Chawla also. So when I was in the first year of my engineering, I decided, yes, along with this electronics and communication, let me start something in the field of space technology independently, right? So I have started the research work in the field of space technology. In my free lectures, I visited to my internet laboratory and researched about the space thing on internet. And there was not even a single professor related to space tech in our college at that time in 2008 when I was in the first year of my engineering. So and one more thing, and जब मैं first year में था in 2008 मेरे पास laptop नहीं था, मेरे पास PC नहीं था, and every weekend I went to my friend's house for a internet or for a PC कि मुझे यार PC दे दो और internet दे दो, so that I will do some sort of a research about the space technology at that time. So early morning 5 6 I went to his home and done a lot of research work. So in 2008 I came to know about the space debris mitigation, that is a kind of space junk in space, right? The kind of junk we have on earth right now, the same type of a pollution or junk we have in space also, which may threat to the life of astronauts, because every day we are sending a lot of satellites, a lot of rockets in space, and till now we have launched around more than 5,000 plus launches take place in space. And one more thing, the first satellite which was launched by Russia, that is called the Sputnik, is still one of the oldest space of a debris revolving around a speed of lakh of kilometer per hour in space in 2020 itself, which was launched, a few years back. So that's my area of concern, how we can clean space junk from space. And I have started the research work, and I asked my teacher to please support me in my research work. And I met with the chairman of my institute, and I said that, sir, I want to do a research in the field of space tech, to please help me. And he said that you have taken electronics and communication, it's good, you can do something in electronics and communication, ये तो supply आ जाएगी, compartment आ जाएगी, so it's good, you can do something in electronics and communication. But apart from that, but था कि कुछ करना है in the field of space tech. I have written my very first research paper at the age of 18 or 19 when I was in first year. और मुझे कुछ नहीं पता था research paper को कैसे लिखते हैं, what is a research paper and all, what is a research and development. But I wrote some research papers and I sent that research paper to ISEC, that is the International Space Elevator Consortium in Washington, in association with the NASA. They have organized one competition to submit their ideas related to space debris mitigation. और मैंने कुछ ideas submit किए, and after 6 months I got a email from ISEC that your very first research paper stood runner-up Jerome Pearson Award in 2012. So that was just the beginning of my journey. And after that I came to know about कि जो लोग आपके work के against होते हैं, right? वो सभी लोग आपको appreciate करने लग जाते हैं कि oh wow, you have done a great job and all this thing. And from that day मुझे एक बात समझ आई कि people can only recognize you when you can showcase your capabilities, right? Firstly you can showcase your capabilities, only then people can start recognize you, आपको वो support करेंगे, right? And कहीं ना कहीं आपको individually ही आपकी journey को शुरू करना है, कोई आपको सपोर्ट नहीं करेगा. एंड वंस यू कैन डू दिस थिंग, एंड आफ्टर दैट बहुत सारे दरवाजे खुल जाते हैं. एंड आफ्टर दैट आई बिकम अ इंक फेलो, I become a TEDx speaker. I got a chance to meet with the President of India, Sir Ratan Tata, and a lot of things. So according to me, if you can do some sort of a innovative work, then definitely there are a lot of things for you, there are a lot of opportunities for you in this world. ऐसा नहीं है कि हमारे पास opportunities नहीं है, लोग कहते हैं कि हमारे पास opportunities नहीं है, right? But there are a lot of opportunities, but उन opportunities तक जाने के लिए you have to start working from somewhere. And after that, in 2015, I got a fellowship in US. So I was in US as a part of fellowship. I was in Google headquarters in Mountain View. I was in Stanford University in Palo Alto. I met with a lot of investors there. I met with a lot of entrepreneurs. I met with innovators there, and I learned a lot of things. Then I decided, okay, let me turn back to India. कि मैं वापस जाता हूँ, and let me start something in the field of education, because I feel there is some gap. Still, there is some gap. I mean, definitely, our honorable Prime Minister just launched NEP 2020, but still there is a lot of gap in our education system, innovation, in technology in India. And when I returned back to India, and after that, I visited a lot of villages, a lot of rural areas in India. I spent around 1 week in Bihar, in different districts of Bihar, because I just want to understand कि बच्चों को चाहिए क्या इंडिया के अंदर. We are talking about innovation, we are talking about हमें coding सीखनी है, हमें सीखने, but on a ground level, what exactly our students are looking forward, उनको चाहिए क्या? And I even let me share one incident. When I was in, I think in Darbhanga or in Ara district in Bihar, I spent around 1 week there, and I have seen वहां पर लाइट भी नहीं है अभी, राइट? इफ चंडीगढ़ और दिल्ली की अगर हम बात करते हैं, तो चंडीगढ़ और आज की डेट में हम ये बोलते हैं कि इंडिया यूएसए से 10, 20, 30 साल पीछे है, राइट? बट मैं ये कहता हूँ कि बिहार अभी दिल्ली चंडीगढ़ से 20, 30 साल पीछे है. वहां पर लाइट भी नहीं है अभी गांव के अंदर, एंड वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट कि हमारे बच्चे अभी कोडिंग सीखे, हमारे बच्चे ये करें, एंड ऑल दिस थिंग. सो जो बेसिक रिक्वायरमेंट्स है, देयर इज अ ह्यूज नीड कि वो बेसिक रिक्वायरमेंट्स को फुलफिल किया जाए इन द फील्ड ऑफ एजुकेशन. वंस वी कैन फुलफिल दैट basic requirements, then definitely we can do a lot of things. And after that, let me share one more thing, as we talk about innovation in education and the NEP 2020 and a lot of things related to education. If I'm talking about the UNESCO, there is one report of a UNESCO that India आज भी 50 साल पीछे है अपने universal education goals को achieve करने में. That is a 50 years हम अभी भी पीछे हैं. And if we are talking about the sustainable development goals, there is a deadline by the United Nations of a 2030 sustainable development goals that each country have to achieve that SDG goals. And if India want to achieve that SDG goals, then definitely we need a lot of fundamental changes in education system as well as in our overall system, right? And even after इतने इंडिपेंडेंस के इतने सालों के बाद भी, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट डॉक्टर कलाम एंड सीवी रमन, क्या हम दूसरे डॉक्टर कलाम, दूसरे सीवी रमन को प्रोड्यूस कर पाए हैं? नहीं, राइट? क्या हमने नोबेल लॉरेट्स को प्रोड्यूस किया है? नहीं. वी हैव अ जीरो नोबेल लॉरेट्स इन द फील्ड ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी और इनोवेशन आफ्टर, आई मीन, right? And if you're talking about Germany and US, they have hundreds of Nobel laureates in the field of technology and innovation. So definitely there is a something, some loopholes or a gap that we have to fulfill, our youngsters have to fulfill, because I believe youngsters can change everything. Youngsters can change the equation, right? Everything is in the hand of youngsters. We are in the 21st century, we can do anything. Let me give you a small share a small incident. And a few weeks back, I met with one parent, and she said that कि मेरे बच्चे के 80% मार्क्स आए. मैंने कहा कि that's a good 80% is the good marks, but she said कि नहीं, इसके फ्रेंड के 90% मार्क्स आए हैं. I said that, and that was in second class only, और 80 और 90 marks के पीछे अभी भी लड़ाई हो रही है. It means this is not the problem of one parent. This is the problem in all over India, I think, because I'm talking about India right now. कि सभी मार्क्स के पीछे भाग रहे हैं. No one, I mean, किसी को ये नहीं लेना कि स्किल डेवलपमेंट क्या है, मेरा बच्चा किस चीज में इंटरेस्टेड है, राइट? व्हाट इज द importance of a skill development that is somewhat missing in our education system. I'm talking about research and development. I have started at the age of 18 years, but still in 2020 research and development is missing from our education system, right? I'm sure with the help of this NEP 2020 जो research and development कहीं ना कहीं missing है, वो जो लूप होल था वो दोबारा से I mean स्कूल लेवल पर आएगा. बिकॉज वेन एवर वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट, हमारे दिमाग में एक ही बात जाती है कि शायद रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट तो पीएचडी लेवल पर जाकर ही होगी, राइट? या मास्टर्स लेवल पर जाकर होगी. बट ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. एक 6th क्लास का बच्चा भी R&D कर सकता है. दे कैन ऑल्सो कम अप विद गुड इनोवेटिव आइडियाज और क्रिएटिव आइडिया. सो एवरीथिंग इज पॉसिबल, राइट? So that's why इंस्टेड ऑफ सिर्फ नंबर्स के पीछे भागना इन 2020, हमें बताना चाहिए, बीइंग अ पेरेंट हमें बताना चाहिए कि देयर इज अ वेरी साइंटिफिक टेम्परामेंट जो हमें इंक्रीज करने की जरूरत है। आज आज टिकटॉक और पबजी जब बैन हो जाता है तो बच्चे रोने लग जाते हैं, राइट, कि टिकटॉक बैन हो गया, पबजी बैन हो गया, हम क्या खेलेंगे, राइट। और जबकि आई मीन हर एक बच्चे को मोबाइल फोन चाहिए आज की डेट में, बट मैं पेरेंट्स को भी बोलता हूँ कि इंस्टेड ऑफ अ मोबाइल फोन यू कैन गिव अ टेलीस्कोप, यू कैन गिव अ माइक्रोस्कोप टू योर चाइल्ड, राइट। दिस कैन इंक्रीज द साइंटिफिक टेम्परामेंट। और न जाने अगर आप उसको आज एक टेलीस्कोप लेके देते हैं, फ्यूचर के अंदर वो एक साइंटिस्ट बन सकता है, एस्ट्रोफिजिक्स बन सकता है। तो यू हैव टू गिव दिस टाइप ऑफ टूल्स। वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द एक्सपीरियंशियल लर्निंग, NCERT, CBSE, IGCSE, everything is talking about the experiential learning, but how many experiments we are doing every year? Nothing. In if I'm talking about NCERT, there are around 60 experiments in one book, but hardly how many experiments we are doing, every year? Hardly 5 or 6. वो भी आज दिन तक हम अपने हाथ में tools पकड़ के नहीं देखते हैं, because एक टेस्ट ट्यूब अगर टूट जाएगी तो 100 रुपीज का फाइन देना पड़ेगा, उसी डर में हम वो टूल भी नहीं पकड़ते हैं। सो दिस इज द रियल टाइम सिचुएशन, राइट, जो हमें कहीं ना कहीं चेंज करनी है इफ वी हैव टू इंट्रोड्यूस द इनोवेशन। तो इनोवेशन का मतलब है कि आप इंडिपेंडेंटली जो मर्जी कीजिए, जो आपके मन में आता है, यू कैन डू दैट थिंग, राइट। सो यू कैन, इफ यू आर इंटरेस्टेड इन कोडिंग, मैं ये नहीं बोलता हूँ कि आज की डेट में जब से एडवर्टीजमेंट आने लगी सभी कोडिंग के पीछे भागने लगे कि हमें तो अपने बच्चे को कोडिंग सिखाना है। लेट मी गिव यू द फैक्ट, अराउंड 65% ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स अभी किंडरगार्टन में जो पढ़ रहे हैं आज की डेट में, जब वो 10th पास करेंगे, 12th पास करेंगे, ग्रेजुएट होंगे, तब तक ऐसी ऐसी टेक्नोलॉजीज आ चुकी होंगी जो अभी इन्वेंट भी नहीं हुई है वो टेक्नोलॉजीज। एंड वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट रैंकिंग, कंपटीशन एंड एवरीथिंग इज, आई थिंक, इन मटेरियल बातें हैं ये सब चीजें। तो हमें अपने बच्चों को वो स्किल सेट देना चाहिए जिसकी नीड है आने वाले 5 साल में या 10 साल के अंदर। I'm not talking about कि आज से ही अपने बच्चों को कोडिंग सिखाइए, रोबोटिक्स सिखाइए, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस सिखाइए। स्किल सेट मींस, सपोज इफ योर किड इज इंटरेस्टेड इन म्यूजिक, सो उसको म्यूजिक में अच्छा सा स्किल सेट सिखाइए, उसको इतना इतना म्यूजिक के अंदर श्योरिटी आ जाए कि वो कहीं भी जाए एंड उसको वो जॉब मिल जाए आफ्टर म्यूजिक की एक्सपर्टाइज आने के बाद। सो दिस टाइप ऑफ अ स्किल सेट, फॉर एग्जांपल, आज भी हम इंडिया के अंदर हमारे घर में अगर हम कारपेंटरी की बात करते हैं, कुछ भी चीज छोटी मोटी चीज टूट जाती है लकड़ी की, तो हम कारपेंटर को बाहर से बुलाते हैं, किसी और के ऊपर निर्भर हैं। इलेक्ट्रिसिटी खराब हो जाती है किसी और, क्योंकि आज भी हमारे पास वो स्किल सेट नहीं है कि हम वो छोटा मोटा काम खुद ही कर सकें। अगर वो छोटा छोटा काम भी, दैट इज ऑल्सो अ स्किल डेवलपमेंट, राइट। वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द आत्मनिर्भर भारत, बट स्टिल वी आर नॉट, आई मीन आत्मनिर्भर, अभी भी हम बाहर के देशों पे निर्भर है, जैसे पहले चाइना के ऊपर निर्भर थे। अगर हम अपने आसपास देखें, वी आर स्टिल निर्भर और ऑन एनी अदर पर्सन इन आवर लाइफ, राइट। सो ये छोटी छोटी बातें हैं, ऑल दिस स्मॉल थिंग्स, जब हम इनको इकट्ठा करते हैं, दैट में इंक्लूड क्रिएटिविटी और इनोवेशन, इन्हीं को हम इनोवेशन कहते हैं। बहुत बड़ी बड़ी आपने रॉकेट्स नहीं बनाने इनोवेशन के लिए, अब छोटी छोटी स्किल सेट को सीखिए, यू कैन डू अ लॉट ऑफ इनोवेशन। अब छोटी सी छोटी अपनी सोसाइटी की प्रॉब्लम्स को देखिए, देयर आर लॉट ऑफ प्रॉब्लम्स इन अ सोसाइटी, राइट। इफ वी कैन कम अप विद अ सॉल्यूशन, दैट इज अगेन अ इनोवेशन, राइट। और वो प्रॉब्लम्स के सोल्यूशन निकालने के लिए हमें पीएचडी की जरूरत नहीं है। आई मीन एक छोटा बच्चा भी एक सोल्यूशन दे सकता है, एक यंगस्टर भी सोल्यूशन दे सकता है। सो दैट्स व्हाई अकॉर्डिंग टू मी इनोवेशन इज वेरी मच इंपॉर्टेंट एंड एक्सपीरियंशियल लर्निंग इज वेरी मच इंपॉर्टेंट, बिकॉज विद द हेल्प ऑफ एक्सपीरियंशियल लर्निंग योर स्किल सेट, your scientific temperament can increase somewhat, you can learn some new thing. And uh, if I'm talking about innovation, still we are at 48th number, global innovation index की बात करता हूँ, then in 2020 India is at 48th number, जबकि हमें और higher position पर होना चाहिए था इस स्टेज पर, राइट। 23.7% लोग आज भी जॉबलेस in 2020 because we don't have a proper skill set। अगर ओवरऑल मैं बात करता हूँ, 80% जो लोग हैं इंडिया में, वो एक स्किल जॉब को लेने के लायक ही नहीं है, बिकॉज अभी भी हमारे पास वो स्किल सेट नहीं है कि हम उस जॉब को लेने के लायक हों। वी आर टॉकिंग की जॉब्स नहीं है। सो ये सब जो चीजें हैं, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट जॉब्स, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट ऑल दिस थिंग पैरामीटर। बेसिक कहाँ से शुरू होता है? आपकी एजुकेशन से। अपनी एक अच्छी एजुकेशन हो, अच्छा स्किल सेट हो, देन यू कैन डू अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग इन योर लाइफ, और ये सभी अपॉर्चुनिटीज आपके लिए ओपन हो सकती हैं। इफ यू हैव good technology oriented person, you can start your own company, you can start your own startup, right? You can start your own entrepreneurship and all. So that's why मेरे according कोई भी बच्चा innovation कर सकता है, but You have to give a freedom. आप numbers के पीछे मत भागिए. And these days we are also talking about GDP. Economy India की -23.7% हो रही है. But according to me, somewhat GDP is directly proportional to innovation, because if we can introduce a technology or a innovation in anything, right, with the same input we can double the output, right? And if we can increase the output with the same input, then definitely we can increase the productivity, and when we can increase the productivity, then automatically the economy will increase. So let me give you a small example how we can increase the productivity in economy. आजकल farmers का भी बहुत मुद्दा चल रहा है bill के पीछे. So let me give you the example of farmers. Suppose if our farmer is having only 1 hectare of a land, या 1 एकड़ की land है, we are talking about here technology and innovation. अगर हमारे हमारे फार्मर्स उसी 1 एकड़ जगह में इनोवेशन लगाते हैं, टेक्नोलॉजी लगाते हैं, दैट इज कॉल्ड वर्टिकल फार्मिंग, जो आज की डेट में इजराइल के अंदर चल रही है. सो जहां वो 1 एकड़ से 100 टन का कोई सामान, कोई सब्जी का उत्पादन करते हैं, विद द हेल्प ऑफ अ वर्टिकल फार्मिंग दे कैन प्रोड्यूस अराउंड 500 टन्स ऑफ अ वेजिटेबल फ्रॉम यूजिंग अ वर्टिकल फार्मिंग. दैट इज कॉल्ड अ टेक्नोलॉजी और इनोवेशन. So here you can see the power of innovation. कि with the help of innovation you can also exponentially increase the economy of a country, and we can do a lot of things. Or for all the students, those who are watching us, and all the educators and all, I mean, especially because of this pandemic, everything is now digital, right? So I think this is the best time. You can explore yourself. You can start doing research and development. You can come up with the solution of the problem we are facing. Still, a lot of things. I mean, we can do a lot of work in the field of agriculture, in the field of pollution, the field of space technology. Just like, I mean, as you mentioned about our satellite. So that's because I'm very much passionate about the space thing. So that satellite was made by a student from grade 6 onward. They have designed the satellite, they have developed, and they have launched the satellite up to an altitude of around 50 kilometers stratosphere. And I'm happy to share with you all from your platform that we are the first company and the first school, that is a Dikshan school in Jirakpur, Chandigarh, the first school in India, those who have launched a satellite in a stratosphere from 6th class onward students, and that is the third school in the Asia, those who have done all this type of things. So at last, I mean, I've spoke a lot about innovation and creativity and all. As my mission and my vision is a one student, one innovation, that each and every student of our country can come up with the innovation, because there are millions of problems in our society, in our country, and definitely we can come up with the solutions. So we can achieve anything, because इनोवेशन से ही किसी भी देश की गरीबी को दूर किया जा सकता है. कोई भी कंट्री सुपर पावर सिर्फ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर से नहीं बन सकती है. अगर किसी भी कंट्री को सुपर पावर बनना है, वहां पे इनोवेशन, वहां पे टेक्नोलॉजी होना बहुत जरूरी है. किसी भी कंट्री को अगर सुपर पावर बनना है, किसी भी कंट्री में बड़े से बड़ा पैंडेमिक दूर हो सकता है विद द हेल्प ऑफ इनोवेशन एंड टेक्नोलॉजी. इफ वी हैव अ गुड हेल्थ केयर सेक्टर विद गुड इनोवेशन, गुड डॉक्टर्स, good engineers or biotechnicians, we can, I mean, come up with the solutions. And जो आज की डेट में हम देख भी रहे हैं, even India is doing a lot of good job in the field of making a vaccine for this COVID-19. So that's why innovation is very important, and I'm sure हम Indians के अंदर वो प्रतिभा है, वो Indians can do anything. अगर हम इंडियंस सिंगल शॉट में मंगल और मार्स चांद के ऊपर जा सकते हैं, तो वो इंडियंस कैन डू एनीथिंग. So the thing is that we have to start from somewhere, and this is the right time. We have to do some sort of innovation, and I mean, come up with the innovation, come up with the solutions, right? And with the help of those solutions, I think we can do the development and advancement of a society, humanity, and nation. So thank you very much. And if you have any question, I mean, you can ask. Yeah.
This satellite which you have launched, first of all, my heartiest congratulations. It came from your heart, and you gave your vision, you gave your expertise in what all you have, and you followed your passion. So this is for every youngster very important. Follow your passion, and राहें अपने आप खुलती हैं, रास्ते अपने आप बनते हैं. If you follow your passion, that is something very important. Now, you mentioned that this is the third institution which has got the satellite facility. Which are the other two which you have got in Asia?
Okay, so sir, in other one is I think in a Singapore or yeah. So they have launched one satellite, that is the university students. They have launched this HABsat, but the school students, I mean, very few schools in India as well as in Asia, they have I mean those who have launched this type of a satellites. Yeah.
Okay. So what exactly it does? Now, this particular satellite which you have launched, what exactly? See,
Okay.
let's take an example. हमारी डे टू डे स्कूल की एक टीचिंग है, एजुकेशन है, जो हमारा एक पढ़ा रहे हैं बच्चों को, तो ये सैटेलाइट क्या मदद कर
Because sir, if we are talking about satellites, then there are three stages of a satellite. One is a CANSAT, that is a very first stage of a satellite, that is only for a simulation purpose, that to teach student about what is a satellite. And the second one is called HAB satellite, which we have launched. That is called a high altitude balloon satellite, which we usually launch up to an altitude of around 50 kilometers, 60 kilometers in stratosphere. And the main objective of this satellite, I mean, definitely, if we are talking about space technology, that is a real-time projects, right? Because उसके अंदर error की कोई गुंजाइश नहीं होती है जब हम space technologies की बात करते हैं. So the objective of that satellite is that we have fixed a few sensors in that satellite as well as a camera. For example, we have fixed the solar sensor, we have fixed the humidity, pressure, and different sensor, and the LDR. सो उस सैटेलाइट का मेन रोल ये था कि जब वो अर्थ से स्ट्रेटोस्फेयर तक जाता, दैट सैटेलाइट गिव अस द इंफॉर्मेशन अबाउट द सोलर एनर्जी एट अ डिफरेंट लेवल्स, कि हर एक लेवल के ऊपर जो सोलर रेज आ रही हैं, जो सन की रेज आ रही है, वो कितनी इंपैक्टफुल है, रेडिएशंस क्या हैं. And we can also monitor the environmental data with the help of that satellite. That's the major objective of that satellite, as we have also fitted the camera inside that satellite. So the whole journey, वो satellite जब space में जाता है, उसकी whole journey, and we have also clicked the earth curvature using that satellite, the images of earth curvature, right? So that's the main objective, because whenever we are talking about satellites, so each satellite is having a different objective or different mission statement. So you have to develop the satellite as per the mission statement. So the objective of that satellite is to capture the environmental data as well as the solar radiation, and to capture the images. That is the major role. Because after that, when we retrieve the data, जब हम उस डेटा को कलेक्ट कर लेते हैं, then we can do a research and development on that data. We can do the processing and we can submit that data to several agencies. Okay, this is the data of at this particular altitude, how much is the radiation, this is the solar energy and everything. This is the environmental data that we can submit to any research and development institute. And the third satellite is called a cube satellite, which we usually send in an orbit. बिकॉज जब भी कोई चीज ऑर्बिट में चले जाती है, तो वो अपनी ऑर्बिटल वेलोसिटी के अकॉर्डिंग वो वहां पे रिवॉल्व करती है. और उस सैटेलाइट की जो ऑर्बिटल सैटेलाइट होती है, दैट इज हैविंग अ पर्टिकुलर लाइफ ऑफ 6 months, 1 year or 2 year as per the mission statement. And if I'm talking about that satellite which we can send in the orbit, that may cost around 50 crore or something like that. That is the, I mean, the amount you have to spend in order to make that satellite. But if I'm talking about the HAB satellite, for HAB satellite, the budget will be around in between 5 to 8 lakh rupees is the budget for that. But again, when we are talking about stratosphere, जो stratosphere की environmental condition है, that is somewhat same as that of a Mars. That is a minus 50 degrees Celsius and all. So whenever you have to develop the technology for space thing, जो चीजें अर्थ के ऊपर काम करती हैं, वो स्पेस में काम नहीं करती हैं वैसे जैसे वो अर्थ के ऊपर परफॉर्मेंस करती है, because the environmental things are totally different in space. So the real time challenge for a school student is that they have to develop the system जो स्पेस में भी काम कर सके और अर्थ पे बैठकर without any laboratories, because चंडीगढ़ में भी वैसी laboratories नहीं है. Still in a simple room they have made, in a Jirakpur they have made a satellite, but still they have calculated a lot of things कि minus 50 degree Celsius में चीजें कैसे होंगी, right? और let me give you a small example. जी जब हम माइनस 50 डिग्री की बात करते हैं, देन हमें अपने कंपोनेंट्स को भी चेक करना होता है कि माइनस 50 में चलेंगे या नहीं चलेंगे. देन हम अब इतनी ठंड वाला एनवायरनमेंट कैसे प्रोड्यूस करें. देन हमने अपनी सैटेलाइट को फ्रिज में रख दिया कि ठीक है वहां पर टेम्परेचर कैसा होगा, अंडर वाटर पानी के अंदर डाल दिया कि वहाँ उसकी क्या कंडीशंस होंगी. तो जैसा कि हम बोलते हैं कि इंडियंस जुगाड़ के लिए बहुत फेमस हैं, राइट? सो वी हैव डन अ लॉट ऑफ जुगाड़ इन दैट सैटेलाइट, बिकॉज डेफिनेटली जब सर मेरा ये मानना है कि जब हमारे पास रिसोर्सेज की कमी होती है, ओनली दैट ना इनोवेशन विल कम, तभी इनोवेशन निकल कर आती है. जब हमारे आसपास हमें दिखता है कि कुछ है ही नहीं, अब क्या करें, देन दिमाग हमारा और चलता है कि आसपास की रिसोर्सेज से ही सब चीजों को कैसे बनाना है, राइट? सो आई मीन दैट्स व्हाई वी हैव डन ऑल दिस थिंग इन द सेम वे, एंड वी हैव लॉन्च्ड, एंड या.
Wonderful. The last question. How this idea came to your mind and what do you want to achieve from here? One student, one innovation.
So, sir, this idea came to my mind when I interacted with more than 50, 60,000 students in India, in rural area, in urban areas, teachers, principal. Then I came to know that कि कहीं ना कहीं ये gap है, कहीं ना कहीं हमारे students के अंदर वो क्षमता है, they can do anything, but उनको tools नहीं मिल रहे हैं, right guidance नहीं मिल रही है हमारे students को, right? So we have to give them the guidance. Then I came up the idea, let's start with a mission, one student, one innovation, that each and every student must come up with at least one innovation. Because if we can come up with the one innovation, if I'm talking about India, we have around 60 crore students, those who are, teaching in, those who are learning or studying in schools. So you can see that, I mean, अगर उसके 10% या 50% भी आ जाते हैं, then we have around crores of ideas in India. And if we can implement those ideas in a real time, so I mean, we can totally change the equation, right? So, and that's the main vision, because here the vision is that we also want कि India will be the next superpower. So वो next superpower कैसे बनेगा? अगर हमारे पास अच्छे innovations होंगे, अच्छे youngsters होंगे, अच्छे ideas होंगे, only then India become the next superpower. So that's the mission, or we have started, and I mean, we are doing a lot of great projects, and I'm also happy to share with you that in the first week of October, we are planning to launch a rocket also up to an altitude of around 2 kilometers. So that's the next project we are working with the students. So this type of projects we are working with the students, and with the focus that students can come up with new and new innovative ideas, and we are just providing them the platform and helping them. Our team is helping them and supporting them. So only then, I mean, India will be the next global leader in the term of innovation and technology.
Wonderful, wonderful, Mr. Saurabh Kaushal. Our best wishes for your rocket launcher also. And your satellite is already doing so well. We pray to Almighty that there should be more youngsters like you. There should be more people like you. And the innovation, what you are doing, it should trickle down and it should percolate to the last child and to the last education benefit. आपने बीच में बिहार की बातचीत की थी. If I go to Mauritius, 60% of the entire sugarcane plantation and the cultivation and the development of that country is because of people from Bihar. Bihar people are lot into the IAS, IPS,
Definitely.
Imagine out of all adversities and difficulties and challenges, like you made a mention, कि सोना वहीं तपता है और वहीं से ही निकल के आता है जब आपके पास पूरी फैसिलिटीज नहीं होती है और वो सब लेके. तो दरभंगा का जो आपका एक्सपीरियंस, we wish that we should bring that state also with all those facilities which other metros have got. Such a pleasure to have you. I'll take 5 more minutes with you, and 5 kids are here. Let's listen to the younger generation also.
Definitely.
I have got to say 1 minute each will be taking. तो ये बच्चे क्या कहना चाहते हैं एक बार हम इन लोगों को भी सुनेंगे. So let's get a little idea of there also. So this evening, Mr. Saurabh, the first child who had come, she was the first to log in at 4:45. That is Madhura. So Madhura, we give you the first opportunity, child, and let's hear you, and let's you share your vision quickly, whatever you want to say. What is your thought process of the evening, child? Let's go ahead.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sharma. I mean, I no longer think that I can be called a child. 28 years is old enough.
For me, you're a child. For me, you're a child.
But I hope we can always be children of this country. Yes. So in that way, I acknowledge the children part of it.
At the age of 70, I can call you my child only.
No, absolutely.
Go ahead. Please go ahead.
So today I actually wanted to talk a little bit about the purpose of education. What is the purpose of education? And that is a topic, that is a question that has been the topic of discussion for so many scholars, teachers, parents, and all the other members of the society. To kind of put it like, to quote John Dewey from 1934, he said that the purpose of education has always been to everyone, in essence, the same. To give the young the things they need in order to develop in an orderly, sequential way into members of the society. I know it sounds a little complicated, But to put very simply, it's basically the means to empower people, to empower individuals and the young through knowledge, through skills, and through the development of interpersonal compassion, like values like compassion, hard work, to become better and become more functioning, I would say, members of the society, somebody who can contribute to the society. And like as young adults, we as young students, we usually start with basics like maths and literature and games and creativity. And eventually, as the students grow older, the knowledge that is imparted in the education system becomes more subject specific. It becomes more relevant to the choices that they have made, to the industry. Then comes more skills like co-working, so teamwork, more skills like soft skills, which make the individual more employable. So in general, education not only does a wholesome development, it also increases the employability of an individual in a society. But to be honest, is that really true? I mean, in today's Indian society, in Indian education system, is that really how we are, grooming children? Are we grooming the individuals that they were supposed to, or are the educational institutes more concerned about their national ranking with, having most number of students that are high achievers or people who get high grades in their examinations? Which brings me to another focus point. But when we talk about examinations, when we talk about education in general, we look at it as a very finite approach. Like, I'm sure a lot of us have heard that a millions of times, just finish your education and then you no longer have to study. मतलब education खत्म कर दो, फिर तुमको कोई पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं है. But is education really a limited thing? Like, should we stop learning? Should we is it should we stop learning basically when we finish what we call education? And how should we, that's another question, and that I think stems from the way we conduct our examinations. When that, I think, is one area that we still have a lot to kind of change, or we kind of have to develop in the way we perceive and how we conduct our examinations. So, like, for example, a lot of our teachers tell us that examinations are just a way of finding out how much we have learned. But truly, like, for example, if I just say a plus b the whole square, I'm sure 90% of you in their heads have already completed the equation a square plus 2ab plus b square. But how many of us actually really know the steps that we require to say file our taxes, to maybe change the oils in our bikes, or to be very simple, how to like stitch a button on our shirt? We don't know. So really, examinations, these grades that we get, are they really a reflection of how much we have learned, or how much of the textbook that we remember in those 90 minutes? So I think one major reform that we need to do is in the way we conduct and perceive this examination. And I think so that is one very important thing that we have to do. Here I would like to quote Margaret Ammons. She said that in 1991, that the purpose of education has now changed from creating a society of literates to a society of learning. So I think that is where we all need to kind of, make some major reforms and make some major changes to our attitude, not only to teaching, but also to our attitude of learning, and why we should perceive, why we should take certain examples, certain knowledge at all, is something that we really need to kind of make some reforms in. To touch upon what Mr. Saurabh had said in his previous session, there have been like he said, I think he mentioned a lot about not being able to crack IIT and AIEEE and all of these competitive exams. And I think that's one place where our students, where our individuals, where our creativity is blocked in the first thing, where you say, oh, you're not IIT material, so you're not creative enough. But most of our innovation that has happened in the past 20th century, in the 20th century, has been less of the IITians and more of the other people, of people who have been not given the opportunity, but just जिसको जिद है कि नहीं मुझे करना है उनको. तो अब ये जिद्दी लोगों को आगे कैसे बढ़ाना है? How do we inculcate? How do we spot? How do we nurture and nourish these people, this inquisitive that is there, as opposed to people who just get good marks, is something that we need to kind of look at more deeply. And look, definitely the new policy, the new education policy is amazing. It has opened up a whole lot, and I can say that because I did my graduation in liberal studies, which nobody at that point of time in India had quite heard of. So I, being a science student, did arts along with maths, along with science. We did world culture, world civilization, and pottery. Everything we did in our bachelor's. Which opportunity that I got, which I'm sure most of us did not get when when they started studying in their technical college. So I believe this policy will definitely change a whole lot of perspective. But in addition to this, a little bit of a little bit of concentration has to be now put. A little bit of attention has also needs to be drawn to the examinations that we hold and how we perceive grading of students.
Okay, thank you very much. So thanks a lot. In fact, I wish to share with all of you. Recently, we lost one of the legends and one very dear friend, that is Sir Ken Robinson. Whenever we get time, I would request each one of you, those are watching this particular program world over, kindly go through on the YouTube. There are more than 400 videos of Sir Ken Robinson. And he has described there are 4 purposes of education: economic, cultural, social, and the 4th is the most important, and that is called personal purpose of education. Why do I study a particular subject? And when she was talking about liberal arts and combination and all that, that was something very interesting. Now, Saurabh still got 65% marks, but I got 33%. And if I appear for 12th class now, I will never be able to pass. I know it very well. And that was the reason I decided I'm not going to study further, but something else was there in the storage for me. And destiny takes you elsewhere. Like he gave a wonderful example of Kurukshetra. And that was remarkable what he has quoted, that he was in different discipline, but that urge was there. And I was recollecting so many things with him. I used to go in a bicycle early in the morning and borrow my friends' books to read because I was unable to purchase. And I got commissioned into the Indian Army at that point of time. And I wanted to retire from the army, but destiny had a different kind of thing. I ran away because I didn't want to study, and that's why I joined army and commissioned officer. I said, now I'm not going to study. But destiny had something else. I did masters, I did PhD. I moved on deputation to the Ministry of Tourism, Government of India. I drafted the MBA Tourism for India, launched that in Indian universities, set up the institute with our team and everybody, the first institute for Ministry of Tourism, which is known as IITTM, Indian Institute of Travel and Tourism Management, and traveled world over. I never thought about it. So what I'm telling is, either you get in life what is your passion, but if you don't get in life what is your passion, then whatever you have got in life, make that as your passion. That is something very important that will get a remarkable results from all of us. So thank you very much, Madhura. And still you are a child for me, and I will call that only. Okay, Kritika, you were the second to come child. Let's have Kritika. Yes, great evening, my child. How are you?
I'm good, Dr. Sharma. How are you doing?
God bless you, beta. Let's see, hear you now. Let's get your views. What is your question of the evening, or what is your theme of the evening?
Thank you, Dr. Sharma. I first would like to just say that I'm so honored to be speaking today. I mean, Mr. Kaushal's journey has been so inspiring. Your journey has been so inspiring. I mean, we are nothing as compared to that. We've just started our journey. So it truly is an honor to be speaking today. A brief introduction about me. I am currently pursuing my diploma in patisserie from the prestigious Lavon Academy of Baking Sciences and Pastry Arts. But prior to enrolling at Lavon, I was working as an educational where I would train teachers to teach properly and more effectively within the classroom itself. And a major part of my job was to create and structure curriculum in such a way that it was more relevant to students within the classroom. Before I talk about how to make education relevant for today's times, I think it's very important to understand what it means to be educated in today's times. I mean, what does it mean to be?
Volume बढ़ सकता है बेटा? थोड़ा volume बढ़ सकता है?
So let me just try.
Or otherwise you can hold your mic next to you while you're
Is
speaking.
it fine?
Yeah, it's better, beta. It's better.
Okay, all right. Okay, so I just wanted to talk about what it means to be educated in today's times. I mean, what does it mean to be educated in the 21st century? We live in a world that is rapidly changing, right? So what is it that we need to teach our young generation so that they can survive these rapidly transforming, the rapidly transforming society that is there today? What kind of skills that they need to get a job in the real world? At present, in most academies and universities, the teachers are basically drawn towards, teaching students how to cram information. They teach, they give lectures, they teach from the textbooks, but how many of us really do remember what has been taught after we give our exams? Like Madhura just said, exam do, kaam khatam karo, that way. So this kind of rote methodology is kind of very disempowering for the students today, especially in universities and in colleges. And I would say it is not even compatible with the needs of the changing world that is today. I'm sure that there'll be many people here who would say that hamare liye chalta tha, it was good for me, so it's good for my kids. Why should I change something that's already, working for me? But I agree with you, but partly. I think that, this kind of rote methodology was rational in those times because the information was very scarce. There was no YouTube, there was no Google, internet was not easily accessible. So to collect data, you had to go through newspapers and books and TV. That was it. But today, the people are subjected to an ocean of information. I mean, sitting here right in my dining room, I can know what is happening in the world at the touch of a button. So my base of information is already there. So the students already have a base of information in their minds. And the teachers or the instructors are merely adding to this information, right? They are not creating this base of information in the classroom. They're just adding to an already existing base. This is nothing more than inculcating a collection of data or a fact. What we need to understand is, what does the student need? It needs the ability to grasp that information and to make sense of it and use it in their daily life. Now, to make education relevant for students, the prime objective of the curriculum that is taught in the academies or the universities should be to make the students curious about the topic. The syllabus should be structured in such a way that it is relatable to real life challenges. I mean, I believe that strong learning can only happen by doing. It can't happen by, mugging up something and then giving an examination. Like we've been having a lot of online classes for Lavon for the past few months during the lockdown. And for the past 2 weeks, I remember we've been learning about all the aspects of menu planning as chefs. We need to understand what kind of menus are there, how to create a menu within a budget. And yes, we've been given excellent information when it comes to what these topics are all about. But when I started my assignment on how to create a menu within a budget, I understood the nitty-gritties of what to do and what not to do. Like, for example, if I have a cafe, I would not want to put a puff pastry or a croissant-based menu if I don't have a dough sheeter. I mean, I'm sure all the chefs here would agree with me. It doesn't make any sense hand-rolling so many puff pastries and doughs because it's only going to eat into your manpower, your time, and your money. So it's better to buy a dough sheeter. So this kind of information would not be given in any kind of book, where you have to look at the equipment also, where you have to look at the local ingredients available. All this comes only by doing. So I would say that the students want to learn about things that has an impact on them in their daily life. Let's take a very common example. All of us have learned math in school. How many of us remember trigonometry? I mean, I don't. I really do not remember anything about that. But yes, I do.
How many of us are utilizing that? Madhura, A square plus B square. I don't know what that
exactly means. I mean, I don't remember anything about trigonometry or such complex equations and all that we had learned during school. But yes, I do remember addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. I use it unknowingly when I go and buy something from the supermarket.
But Saurabh,
that is something.
Saurabh must be making use of trigonometry and calculus while He's,
He's a scientist. He's a scientist. There'll always be that one person that is better than everyone else. I mean, I can't comment on that.
Okay. Point
So
well taken.
my basic point is that if we do not use it in a real life situation, how do we retain that kind of information, and how is it relevant for us? I'm not saying don't teach trigonometry. Of course, it should be taught, but it should be taught in a way, or by using teaching aids or different kinds of assignments, so that the kids or the students can actually retain that kind of information later on. If not all of it, maybe part of it.
Point
So
well.
in conclusion, I just want to say one simple thing, that the best way to make education relevant for today's times is to keep it real, is to keep it relevant, and it is to keep it relatable to the daily life situation.
Wonderful. Daily life situation. Very good. God bless you, Kritika. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Pallavi, you are the next one. Yes. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sharma, for providing this platform. This is very exciting. It was great to hear Mr. Sourabh Kaushal as well. Very warm hello to everyone. My topic, which is very exciting to me, is the role of technology in today's education.
Every child would be happy. Every child world over would be happy. Everybody wants gadget. Go ahead. Yes.
Going forward, my observation and feelings on this is quite clear cut. Going forward, I believe that blended learning system of offline and online learning will be convenient, it will be time saving, it will be cost effective, and it can be an enriching practice overall. Technology has put us, the seekers of education, the learners, in the driver's seat. From the advent of supercomputers and basic cell phones, and launching the World Wide Web as not too far also in 1990s, to now smartphones and tablets and personal computers, technology has given us the choice uh, to basically decide what to learn, and in what mode to learn it in. So this choice was always there. It was there pre-pandemic also. There were YouTube tutorials and online courses that were increasing day by day. But what has happened now is that in the field of education, there is some brainstorming going on at every university level, at every educational system level, how to structure this information, that this knowledge that they would have given in a classroom, and how to make it accessible to everybody. And that is great. Let's say the social media platforms. Social media platforms are giving us an opportunity to observe real-time information, up-to-date information in real-time work environments. So if I can take an example, like Kritika also mentioned, as would-be chefs at Lavon Academy of Pastry Arts and Baking Sciences, we are very interested to learn where our ingredients are being sourced from, where are they coming from, why are we choosing some suppliers versus others. Some suppliers and farmers and urban farmers are taking the simple measure of giving us live tours, or using a smartphone and giving us live tours of their farms, of their warehouses, of their godowns, where we see the product, where we see the ingredients, we see how it's grown, how it's nurtured. They teach us how to use these ingredients. This sort of information is transparency is very useful to all of us, and we will use this information further on when we go on in our careers. And the expanse of this broad information at the click of a button is available to us in an instant. We can I can get in touch with my mentors and my instructors at leaving a message, by leaving a text, by leaving a comment, and they can get back to me. This is all because of technology. Watching, let's say, YouTube tutorials and everything has become so easy. So in the service industry now, and hospitality universities now, they have in their curriculums a lot of people, a lot of industry experts, a lot of professionals, restaurant entrepreneurs, cafe owners, world-class chefs who come, they give us a talk, they demonstrate, and they share experiences with us. Now what is happening is that we are watching them in their work environments. We are watching them in their kitchens. They are talking to us from their offices. And we are able to see this, which is so enlightening for all of us because it is real-time information.
So point well taken. Point well taken. That technology is going to play a very important role in our day-to-day life, not only in education, rather our entire spectrum, what all is happening around us. In every
Yes.
field, in every sphere. Point well taken. Thank you, Pallavi. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Tanavi, great evening. Good evening, child. How are you?
I am fine, doctor. How are you?
Yeah, fine. Thank you, Vika. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so today my topic would be about what do the youth of today want in relation of education. So when I say the word education, I usually think of math, science, and social studies. But today's generation wants to go into careers that are more non-traditional. Being a lawyer, being an engineer, being a doctor is become very mainstream right now. People want to go into something that's more creative for them. So I feel that in school, students who are allowed to choose their own subjects will have more exposure to the outside world, will get practical knowledge about the careers that they want to go into, and also help them integrate themselves into today's society. Second of all, I feel the burden of exams should be lightened for students today, because this is the next generation that's going to be there. And a lot of burden of exams would give students a lot of health issues, which in turn is like depression, anxiety, stress, and we don't want that for our youth today. And one more topic that I would like to talk about is extracurricular activities in school. So when I say the word extracurricular, it's usually just sports. That's what it was in my school for me also. But clubs that have chess club, reading club, foreign languages club, photography clubs, and that would, give students the opportunity to choose a career, to start to learn about that career, and also help them amp up their resumes for the colleges that they do want to get into. I feel like the students of today just want to be accepted for who they are. Like a lot of people over here spoke about, everyone's just looking at numbers for their exams, 65%, 55%, 85%. But that's not the point right now, because today people look at skill sets that students have, and people look at the various ways that students can go through colleges. And that's one of the best parts about today's generation. It's not about numbers, it's more about the skill sets. So that's one thing that I see. These are few points that I see that the youth of today would like, that they would want to be accepted in a certain way, and not just in the way that the old generation was accepted.
Okay. Three more things which comes to my mind I wish to share with you. Do you feel children, today's youth, they want fun?
Yes, definitely. So
Second. So this is one. So yes, that is one. Second, do they want instant gratification? Okay, that is also done. Very good. So you have given me full marks for both. Now comes the third one. Do they want to do smart work, no hard work?
Not necessarily every time. That is the new trend right now, that everybody is just doing things that would help them, and not just, but people are doing hard work. They see hard work as a different form of hard work as the old generation did. So right now, like I said, these clubs and debate clubs and Model United Nations, political, social work, volunteer work would be their form of hard work, but in a way that is going to help them in the future.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Very kind of you. Pleasure to have you, Tanvi. Vani, the last speaker, and the important speaker. The last person should be getting more time. Yes, Vani, please go ahead.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, Dr. Sharma and ICSI. And also, thank you, Mr. Kaushal, for inspiring us with your work. And apologies for the lack of video. I'm on a very feeble internet connection I also got late by 10 minutes, so apologies for my tardiness.
No problems, no problems. Please go ahead.
uh, so the topic today is how to work towards your dream career. While I'm no expert at it, I'll try and attempt to answer the question and surmise this very quickly in 5 points. I think first of all, it's very important for people to figure out what is, their dream career. What is their dream job, or what is the goal that they would like to achieve. I think many people, before setting their career path, don't realize this. So I think that's the first step that needs to take place. They need to try to be realistic without being pessimistic. For example, like somebody's goal could be running a $1 billion organization, which could be fairly unrealistic to start with, but something as also big as running your own business, can be a more achievable goal in spite of it needing exceptional amount of vision, dedication, and some supreme amount of hard work. So I think the first step is to identify where it is that you want to be. The second step, I think, is to know or find out everything that you can about this job. What are the academic qualifications that you might need? What are the skill sets that you need to do this job successfully? Also, try and look at various examples of people who've already, worked at it. Find out, what they did to get there. After doing some amount of spade work, I think it is really important also to figure out if you still want this to be your goal. Are you up for it? Are you still passionate about it? If the answer is yes, then you move on to the next step, is assessing where you are. Now that you identified, what your goal is, and, what are the things that you need to do, you need to figure out how to get there. This is where the journey begins. So once you know where you want to go, you need to find out, do you have relevant experience? Do you have, the necessary academic qualification? Have you worked in similar kinds of projects? Or even have you worked on hobbies outside work? And make a list of, soft skills and hard skills. This is really important, I feel, since we've spoken about education and skills so much in this forum. First, we find out, do you have problem solving skills or time management skills? Do you have it in you to be a leader or motivate your employees? Soft skills like that, interpersonal skills. And also hard skills like, do you have the technical know-how? Do you know if you can build those products? Do you have the relevant academic qualifications? Things like that. And while you're doing that, you're essentially putting out a CV of yourself. You're trying to do a SWOT analysis of yourself to understand what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, or what are the gaps you have, and then try and bridge those gaps. The fourth point is, now that you figure out, these are your gaps, it is time to work on those gaps. You can start by, attending courses, trying to get those academic qualifications, or you can start with internships, or you can take on additional responsibilities in your current job. Also, a good point will be to do some amount of networking, seek out advice from people in the industry, attend, conferences, things like that, that would let you process the first steps. The last point would be to lay out your goals amongst a timeline. Now that you have done these initial steps, you can start by making a 30, 60, 90-day plan. Try and break down the milestones so that you're not overwhelmed, so that, you can achieve these, small bites very quickly. Make a comprehensive plan with achievable targets, and then slowly graduate to making a 3 month, 6 months, 12-month plan. And then you grow to making a 1 year, 3 year, 5 year plan, so that, the goals don't feel so overwhelming. So that basically brings me to the end of my topic. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Thank you, Vani. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much. Saurabh, let's get you at the center of the stage, because we got to have you over here. And I would request all our participants to kindly switch over your cameras, because the world over, it's going to live telecast. And now this is the finale. And this is the final program, what we are having now closing. So before we close now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to have a final word from Saurabh, and a little bit I would like to share. Our chamber, when it started in 1994, I still recollect. When I was in the Ministry of Tourism, Government of India, I used to pinch myself. I said, I joined Army. I wanted to retire as a journal from the Army, and wherever I landed and wherever I come, and when I did my master's, because graduation they do in the Army itself when you become officer. So when I had to do, because in one of the ambush when I became the casualty, so my medical category was down and I had no choice to go beyond major. So then I had to take up some side track, and I thought it's not going to happen this way. So when I walked to International University, to the head of the Department for International Affairs, and I asked him the question, he looked at me from top to bottom and he laughed. I said, is there any subject where you have not to study? He laughed. He looked at me. He says, can you come tomorrow morning? I'll let you know. I said, okay. Next morning, I went over there and the whole night I couldn't sleep. There was a curiosity. What is the subject where I have not to study? Because I don't want to study. Come whatever may. I just don't want. It has been imposed on me. I wanted to say goodbye to the bloody studies, and again it has come to me. And he told me, I still recollect, there's one subject you can do your master's and your post-graduation, and that is called holiday and leisure tourism. And I took admission for the master's, and I tell you, that's why I keep sharing, and I keep empowering every youth. It is very important. You all have to understand. I did not write anything in my answer sheet, even one word, what I read as a novel in that book. Whatever I felt about tourism, whatever I thought about tourism, what it should be, how it should be, what it should be, I wrote that way. And I'm pretty sure there were some teachers, some lecturers like Madhura or Tanvi or Kritika or Pallavi, they might have put somebody else's marks in my answer sheet and I got second position in the university. And that imposed on me that now we give you a scholarship to do your PhD. Oh my God, I didn't want to study after 11th, now graduation, Army, and now post-graduation, and now PhD also. And after PhD, I still recollect, when I finished my PhD, there used to be one newspaper called Bada Sa Akhbar Aata Tha, Ajeeb Sa. उसके 35 पेज होते थे, एम्प्लॉयमेंट न्यूज. ओ माय गॉड, वो पता नहीं उसमें खो जाएंगे आप, इतना बड़ा होता. उसमें लिखा हुआ था कहीं, anybody who holds masters and PhD in service industry can come on deputation to Ministry of Tourism, Government of India. I cleared the exam and I moved on deputation to the Ministry of Tourism, sitting next to the Parliament in the Transport Bhavan, room number 121. And from there, going around the entire world, 119 countries, business class travel, staying in the 5-star hotels, luxury, tourism, hospitality, airlines. You can't imagine. And what is event management? Oh my God. Meeting, greeting, eating, and saying goodbye and pushing off from there. That is called event management. Lovely. I said, yeah, this is the best profession one can have. Such a lovely time I had. And then the question came, always Punjabi think of something you got to do unique. Don't follow what others are doing. And sometimes I wonder, Hanumanji must have been a Punjabi. Somebody's wife, somebody else picked up, took somewhere else, and he put the fire in his poach and his tail, and he had been roaming around over there and all that. So that was the question. I thought once I've come to Ministry of Tourism, I got to set up the National Institute for Tourism. I got to do the MBA for tourism. First course, first program, never ever in India before 1988. And there used to be a diploma in hotel management. I still recollect. And the career was sealed after diploma. One more paper from IGNOU, 37 different, 35,000 बच्चों को डिग्री दिलवाना. And that was the change. आर्मी के लिए मैंने बोला हमारे बच्चों को एडमिशन नहीं मिलता होटल मैनेजमेंट में, बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है, आप मुझे बैंगलोर में 4 कमरे दे दो. और आर्मी के अंदर 4 कमरे लेके, and I found, ladies and gentlemen, what I started over there. Today there is a full-fledged hotel management institute of the Indian Army in Bangalore. That's what I've learned. Anything is possible on this planet. Anything you got to see. और लोग हंसते हैं कई बार. लोग कहते हैं कि जिनको आप कहते हैं ना कि ये मूर्ख हैं, इतना काम करते हैं, क्या जरूरत है काम करने की, इतनी मेहनत करने की. My life is a great tragedy. when I became casualty, 8 months looking at one wall, on one bed, in one hospital, entire thing, that gave me the new thought for my life. What is the purpose of my life? Why am I in this world? So ladies and gentlemen, when I teach abroad in different countries, in different continents, I learned two things. There are two important days in your life. One is your birthday, the day you are born on this planet. And second day, you come to know why are you born. These 2 days, if you come to know, the purpose of your life is given to us. So there is a purpose of education. You got to be happy. You got to follow your passion. You got to enjoy every moment. And let's not disappear from this planet insignificant way and just disappearing from here without contributing something substantial on this planet. Each one of us, we should do something. अभी आज शाम को क्या कर सकते हैं? YouTube के ऊपर जाइए, विश्व गुरु का सॉन्ग ढूंढिए और विश्व गुरु के सॉन्ग को लाइक कीजिए, अपने फ्रेंड्स के साथ शेयर कीजिए, पूरे वर्ल्ड को लेके चलिए। तक्षशिला क्या थी? नालंदा क्या था? 10,000 बच्चे कैसे आते थे? 2,000 आचार्य कैसे थे? इंडिया विश्व गुरु कैसे था? दोबारा से विश्व गुरु कैसे बनेगा? ये सौरभ कौशल जैसे लोग, ये मधुरा जैसी गर्ल्स एंड तन्वी जैसी, कृतिका जैसी, पल्लवी जैसी, वाणी जैसी, यही बच्चे लोग हैं जो दोबारा से पुनः भारत को विश्व गुरु बनाएंगे। And people laugh at me. I stayed in the army. I stayed in the tourism. I traveled the world. I've never tasted even beer. I'm a vegetarian. I'm a teetotaler. I'm a non-smoker. I sleep at 9. I get up at 3:30. I'm 70 years old, but the energy flows in my body that of 15-year-old boy. That is my lifestyle. 3 hours on my body every day in the morning. Yoga, meditation, naturopathy, nutrition, organic. अरे ये शरीर अपना है, इसको समझिए, इसको संभालना है, दवाइयों की जरूरत नहीं है। नेचुरल वे में यू कैन डू सो मच विद दिस बॉडी यू कांट इमेजिन। ये मिथ है, इस बेचारे की तो ऐसे ही लिखी थी, इसको तो ऐसे ही जाना था, ऐसे नहीं है। You spoil your own body. You put whatever you put inside this body, वो सिर्फ आप ही को पता है, क्योंकि जब शीशे के सामने खड़े होते हैं तो आपको पता होता है कि डॉक्टर गुलशन शर्मा, तुमको पता है तुम कितने बदतमीज हो, किसी और को नहीं पता। So thereby, ladies and gentlemen, take care of your health, remain happy, enjoy every moment of your life. You got to contribute on this planet something substantial before you disappear from this planet. God has brought you on this planet to do something meaningful. So this evening, I would request YouTube के ऊपर जाके विश्व गुरु के गाने को लाइक कीजिए, उसको शेयर कीजिए, और आपका भी जो वीडियो है, why did I request all of you to switch on your video? Because world is watching, and this live telecast which is going, the whole world is seeing you, and they are getting the inspiration from each one of you who spoke this evening. वानी, अगर थोड़ी सी भी strength है तुम्हारे कैमरा में, तो you must see the world yourself, and the world should see also you. That is the way. So with these words, ladies and gentlemen, Saurabh ji, final word from your side.
First of all, I mean, a big salute to you, Dr. Gulshan Sharma ji. Your journey is also a very commendable journey you have. जो आपकी जर्नी रही है, एंड डेफिनेटली जैसा कि पल्लवी, कृतिका और सबने बोला, टेक्नोलॉजीज एवरीवेयर, लर्निंग इज अ कंटिन्यूअस प्रोसेस, एंड जो हम मार्क्स के पीछे भागते हैं, राइट, सो थोड़ा सा उससे हटकर स्किल की तरफ भागना चाहिए। देयर आर लॉट ऑफ डिफरेंट करियर ऑप्शन आल्सो अवेलेबल अपार्ट फ्रॉम डॉक्टर, इंजीनियर्स एंड लॉयर्स। एंड एट लास्ट मैं सिर्फ यही कहना चाहूंगा कि अपार्ट फ्रॉम इनोवेशन, स्किल, करियर एंड ऑल, हमें हर एक इंसान को इमोशनली स्ट्रॉन्ग बनने की बहुत जरूरत है, बिकॉज जो अभी करंट पैंडेमिक हम देख रहे हैं, राइट, किसी ने नहीं सोचा था ऐसा पैंडेमिक आएगा और कोई भी तैयार नहीं था इसके लिए। सो फ्यूचर इज अनप्रेडिक्टेबल, उसको हम प्रेडिक्ट नहीं कर सकते हैं अभी आने वाले टाइम में कैसे पैंडेमिक आएंगे, क्या होगा। तो उन सब चीजों के लिए हमें इमोशनली स्ट्रॉन्ग होने की बहुत ज्यादा जरूरत है, राइट। सो दैट इज द फर्स्ट थिंग। एंड अपार्ट फ्रॉम इमोशनली स्ट्रॉन्ग, हमारे अंदर एक मोरल वैल्यूज, जो मैं सबको कहता हूँ, उसकी बहुत जरूरत है। 21st सेंचुरी में तो हम आगे बढ़ रहे हैं, मॉडर्नाइजेशन की तरफ बढ़ रहे हैं, बट जो एक मॉरल वैल्यूज है, सोशल वैल्यूज है, उसकी बहुत जरूरत है आज की डेट में हर एक इंसान के अंदर, चाहे वो बच्चा है या किसी भी एज ग्रुप का है। सो दीज आर द थिंग्स, एंड डेफिनेटली वी आर ऑन दिस ब्यूटीफुल प्लैनेट, जिसके ऊपर हम हैं, और वी आर हेयर टू डू समथिंग। सबको कुछ ना कुछ यूनिक वर्क करना चाहिए अपनी लाइफ के अंदर। आपको एक ब्यूटीफुल लाइफ मिली है, उसके अंदर यू कैन डू सम यूनिक वर्क फॉर द डेवलपमेंट ऑफ सोसाइटी, ह्यूमैनिटी एंड नेशन। उसके लिए कुछ अच्छा काम कीजिए और इन्वायरमेंट को बचाइए, क्लाइमेट को बचाइए। और दैट्स अगेन आई थिंक बिकॉज आज जो ये पैंडेमिक को हम फेस कर रहे हैं वो ह्यूमंस के कारण ही कहीं ना कहीं कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि जब हम नेचर के अगेंस्ट में जाएंगे डेफिनेटली नेचर भी हमारे अगेंस्ट में जाएगा कभी ना कभी। So it's our duty to save our climate, environment, and planet. So do some good work for the society and humanity and nation. Thank you very much, Jai Hind.
God bless all of us. Thank you very much for joining this evening. And green morning, green afternoon, and green evening to everybody in the world. People are going for their morning walk and morning jog in Canada, on the eastern coast, western coast, USA. Whether you are in downtown Ontario, you are in British Columbia, you are in New York, or you are in California, you are in Peru, or you are in Argentina, or you are in Chile, or you are in Brazil, or you are in Mexico, wherever you are. And people, those are in Central Asia also, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Kyrgyzstan. I'm grateful to all of you for having joined. People, those have come from South Asia, all the way from Afghanistan, from Nepal, from Bhutan, from Sri Lanka, from Maldives, and of course the entire ASEAN continent, entire India, and going down a little bit over there to South Korea and Taiwan. Dr. Christie, I'm so grateful to you having joined from Taiwan. And Sankalp, thank you very much for bringing all my NRI friends from Seoul. And further, if I go, I'm so happy. It is although almost 11 o'clock in different parts of Japan, but a lot of people are there, Indians, Sapporo, Hokkaido, Kobe, Kyoto, Fukuoka, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Yokohama, Tokyo, Shiwasenara Teotatoko, Shiwasenara Taido de Shimnesu. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. And those of us, those are joining us from Central Asia, Dobre Večer, Daragie Dastia, Instituta Padalam, Turisma, E Upravlenia, Bureau Putic Shetsvi, और जो भारत में है सबको आज की शुभ रात्रि, आपको बहुत बहुत नमस्कार और सबको बहुत बहुत प्रणाम। परमात्मा आप सबको सुखी रखे, अच्छे से रखे और सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट है कि स्वस्थ रखे। Think positive, talk positive, walk positive, dream positive, and the world is going to be positive.